Hello, my name is Jared Coleman. I'm from a law firm called Coleman Associates. I've been practicing law for over 20 years. I'm located in San Diego, California, and I do criminal appellate work for indigent clients across the state. And I have currently one remote legal staff on my team, and I have two other part-time workers. So the specific pain points that we had in seeking remote legal staff. One, I think we wanted something economical as well as at a high skill level, which can be difficult to find in the legal work. Our client's criminal area takes a lot of effort and learning, and we're looking for someone that was smart enough to do the appellate work that we do. And we also wanted somebody to work remotely. Because I work remotely, that's one of the main reasons that we wanted to go with remote staff. We looked at other solutions as far as I had, contract work that I found through like LinkedIn or other sources, kind of a one-on-one basis. But we ultimately went with remote legal staff because it provided the support for the employee that I wasn't really equipped to provide. And that also relieves me from a lot of pressure of having the employees, which can often be stressful. So that's probably the main reason we went with remote legal staff over our other potential sources of remote legal work. Yeah, so the other solutions that I looked at is hiring people directly where they'll be our contractor or our employee. Remote legal staff offered the full HR support and allowed kind of a level of management that we weren't offering, and that it relieves a lot of stress from me. And that's the main reason I went with remote legal staff. So I've worked with offshore staff before, having attorneys from Pakistan, India, and other places do legal work for me. It went well, but it added another aspect of my job of kind of managing their work or managing their time in a way that remote legal staff kind of took that off my plate. And I think was the main reason I went with them over just finding and sourcing my own help. So what aspects of remote legal staff stood out? For me, the main thing was that they had a thorough way of monitoring their employees. They seemed to care about their employees, so they cared about their long-term as well as short-term kind of career path. So it seemed like the people that were getting involved were interested in working for on a long-term basis. And that was probably the main reason that stood out. And it seemed like they had a very thorough approach to management as well as a thorough HR approach. So the level and qualifications of the candidates provided was impressive. I think there were 4 candidates initially, and one of them had 2 advanced degrees and had been published before and seemed really well positioned to do appellate work, which is what I was looking for. They had other candidates that also seemed to had a lot of experience. We ended up going with the one with the most kind of academic work, but that kind of lends itself to appellate law. So I was really impressed with the qualifications of the candidates. So I really enjoyed the experience of the interview process. So I was provided both video and paper CVs of all the candidates. I was able to review each of them, decide which ones I wanted to interview, and the interviews went professionally, and it was helpful to have remote legal staff arrange an interview to manage the kind of in and out of bringing the candidate on and off the interview, as well as kind of follow-up. So I did appreciate that aspect. So training was a big issue for me when I decided to hire people, because it does take a lot of time out of my day to train, and it's often can be frustrating for me because I need to get things done and things need to generally be done at a high level. But I found that the remote setting is very helpful for training because there's so many tools involved. I could record all of my sessions with my employees so they can remember what I've told them. I have AI note-taking ability, so that can record and summarize the training. So the training aspect has been reduced. The pain for me has been reduced quite a bit, mainly because of the technology that the one remote legal staff provides, as well as the setting of having remote legal staff, period. It's nice to have in a training level to be able to watch everything they're doing using the technological tools that we have, as well as to produce materials almost effortlessly using AI from training sessions that we had online. Our remote legal staff employee, our attorney, she's been reviewing the records of trial cases in felony appeals in California. She's been summarizing the witness testimony, identifying law and motion issues in the record. She's been preparing kind of a case summary so we can go into briefing with all the facts laid out. And that has been really helpful. She's done that more than a dozen cases thus far from different levels. And that's really allowed us to improve the speed of our workflow and take on more cases. The staff provided, she was adept at using the tools and using her computer to work from home. But I was impressed with how RemoteLegalStaff would assist her and direct her in finding the right computer and using the software that they provided effectively, as well as making her comfortable with using that type of software. So that was impressive, and it was very helpful to get people in the mode of using software while they're working to allow for the training and management aspect. How did the RemoteLegalStaff employee help the firm, either with the client outcome or help us with our work? And I would say the main thing that I noticed was our ability to get through the casework faster. Usually, appellate work is a lot of reading, summarizing, and drafting preliminary documents so that we can eventually do the research and draft the final arguments. And I was pleasantly surprised to see how much easier it was for me to both draft the arguments as well as to integrate the work from the remote legal staff member into my work. And that allowed us to do many more cases on a monthly basis than we normally would have done. The main thing that I noticed when we brought on legal staff is at the time we did, we were totally swamped. We had deadlines coming, I was up to my ears in deadlines and had a lot of work on my plate that I didn't think I was going to get done in time. She came in and was able to significantly streamline that process of getting the cases summarized and ready for briefing. And that allowed us to do quite a bit more work than we expected, as well as to relieve most of the deadline pressure that we were under. So we didn't have many security concerns. We did implement Google Workspace, which has a very strong security mechanism for controlling access to files. And that allowed me to simply allow our staff member to access to whatever files we wanted. Google Workspace also provides security as far as email and other communications that we implemented to allow for firm-wide policy of using that, so we can keep all the information in one place. And we also had our remote legal staff sign an agreement where they would follow all the ethical guidelines of the California State Bar and any other relevant body. And all those things have kind of made it seems as comfortable as anybody, whether they're offshore or not. I haven't had any concern at all with the security thus far. I've appreciated the ongoing support and monitoring and coaching of the staff, because like I said before, it takes a lot off my plate. I think what they've done is allowed for kind of a basic kind of corporate environment where the employees can expect to be evaluated. They can expect to give feedback on what they're doing and respond in a way. Remote legal staff has taken that off my plate to allow me not to have to be the one who's their direct monitor, but also for them to have a direct monitor, which is, I think, helpful for me, and it makes me feel good that that's happening, but not having to be directly involved reduces my stress level. Working with offshore staff hasn't been much different between having in-house staff, mainly because most of our work is dealt with, on the computer, analyzing documents, and there's not as much, direct interaction between attorneys, but that really hasn't been an issue because with the communication technology that we have, it seems like they're in the next room. I can chat to them, I can get on a call very easily. They often send videos or snapshots of what they're doing, so I can answer questions easily. And all coming through, Google Chat or Slack has allowed us to be as if they were in the same office. So that's been very helpful, and I haven't had really any problems. And if anything, it's slightly more efficient because there's less social banter. The business reason for using remote legal staff is it's far more cost effective than having in-house staff. I don't have to have an office for them. I don't have to have even computer. I don't have to have things set up for them. I don't have to have somebody come in and set them up. They take full responsibility for their workspace, and remote legal staff assists them with that. So that's been very helpful to have that backup. My expectations of managing remote staff, I've done that quite a bit in my career before, and I expected it to be similar to that. It was actually, I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was better, in a sense that having the layer of reporting and kind of HR support made it easier for me to manage and focus just on the legal assignments that I was given, rather than having to deal with days off, sick time, other things like that I would probably have to deal with more if they were in the office than if they were remote. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. I'm also was really happy to find out, because she was kind of adept at technology and kind of forced to use it, it made her more responsive to the technology that allows things to be more efficient from my side. Legal staff has been very responsive. They've been in communication with me, proactively setting up monthly check-in sessions with both me and my staff. They've been responsive to all the technological concerns that my staff had. They solved all the issues that we had, getting everything to work properly very quickly, and it led to no downtime that I could see. So I was very happy with the way that Remote Legal Staff has communicated with me, as well as with the staff. I think it's been very good for our clients, in the sense that getting things done faster, more efficiently, has been very helpful for us and for them. And that's the main thing that they're waiting on, is getting these appeals processed quickly. And I can say that efficiency and the ability to do more work better has improved client outcomes as far as that we can see. So the tangible benefit that we had was what I expected from having more work, is we were able to get more done faster and bill more time, and do higher quality work. And so that is just the benefit of staff. As far as having remote legal staff, I was surprised with how easy it was to integrate remote employees into my current work processes, as well as the fact that it was dramatically less expensive than hiring somebody in-house. Well, we've been very excited that we have a resource like Remote Legal Staff, that we can expand the firm as we need, as we take on more cases. And I believe that partnership is going to allow us to grow in a way that I never really thought possible. And mainly because of the headache and pain that I felt was going to be involved in hiring more people to work. And Remote Legal Staff has allowed me to get into that on my own very easily. And I feel like that's going to translate into more staff and more work in the future. Having an assistant do the work that, the person that Remote Legal Staff provided probably allowed me to bill almost double the amount of time that I was billing previously, because of the tasks that I was not able to bill for, that our staff was able to do. And it allowed me to do it more thoroughly. So I was able to maintain the quality work that I preferred, as well as do more of it. And that was, immediate impact on both the top line and the bottom line. So if you're looking at hiring someone remotely and, overseas, a lot of the concerns that I had were, are they going to speak English well enough? Or is their writing going to be at the level that I need? And that was addressed in a couple of ways. One, I was really impressed with the level of training in the law the staff had, but also I think the tools that allow people, that speak English as a second language, to write in the same way as an American would, with like Grammarly and other types of assistance, really did bridge the gap that I saw between, how the language needs to sound. And that was the main concern that I had. So I was really pleasantly surprised with, the ability, of proofreading and improvement technologies that Remote Legal Staff employees were versed in and encouraged to use. And that was very helpful for me to bridge the gap on the language gap, which was my main concern at first. So I wouldn't hesitate to use remote staff because of it really does open you up to other things that will improve your business, aside from simply having more people there to help you. I would highly recommend Remote Legal Staff for any owner of a law firm who wanted to grow economically with less investment upfront in an employee, because I think that's the main thing that I had a problem with growing, is finding staff where I had to invest in, put out all the money and effort to have a staff, to have the HR capability, to have the payroll capability, to monitor them, to get all that in place. Remote Legal Staff took all that off my plate and continues to provide that kind of high-level HR service that I was looking for, and I think I really needed in order to take on more staff. And so I'd highly recommend anyone who, like myself, may be overworked, doing too much yourself. I think it was very helpful and kind of very refreshing to find the service that I needed, like Remote Legal Staff. So yeah, I was very impressed with the follow-up from Remote Legal Staff on the ongoing support for the business, as well as taking an interest in how we're growing and how our staff is working out. And it seems like there's a lot of care involved in making sure the employees feel like it's something that they want to invest their time and career in. And that is very helpful for me in order to retain the staff that we're training and investing in now. I've worked in firms before, but I haven't hired people on my own directly, or very few people that did high-level legal work or assisted me with a lot of legal work I had. And I was happy to find Remote Legal Staff to help me in that process. I'm both hiring not just remote legal staff, but just having an HR department that was kind of plug and play, allowing me to immediately bring on an employee with all of the formality and management capability. I'd have to have an HR department for that. So I was really thankful for that. The employee that we brought on through Remote Legal Staff was an immediate impact to our firm, probably allowed me to double the revenue in the first couple of months. And I think ongoing, it will even improve from there, merely because I was not wasting so much time on things that I would be doing. On top of that, I was really happy with the way that the staff was communicated with me, with my employee, as well as making sure that they met all their needs so that they can keep working for me. So I'm very pleased with the outcome. And if you're looking for someone, economical and easy way to add manpower and capacity for your firm, I would highly recommend Remote Legal Staff as a platform for building your firm and for future growth.